Okay, welcome back. We're continuing to work on the pistol, and in this video, we're going to work on the aiming pose for the pistol. Let's go into our Anim starter pack and type in pistol, and we'll see that we have this idle pistol animation. Double click on that, and here is the idle pistol animation. It's basically aiming with the pistol. We're going to retarget this, so close out of this, right click, retarget anim assets, duplicate anim assets, and retarget. Choose Bellicus skeleton and retarget. And double click to make sure that it looks good. And here is our idle pistol animation. So we're going to use this for the aiming pose. So let's go ahead and close that. We'll open our game character animations folder, and we're going to move idle pistol into the animations folder. Click move here, and now we have our idle pistol animation in that folder. Now let's go to shooter anim BP. Now let's go all the way up to where we have an aiming upper body. Double click that, and we have this aiming pose. Double click that, and now we have play aiming pose rotated. Remember, we rotated the hand bone just a bit in this pose. Here's what it looks like, and it's basically what we have for our aiming pose, and it looks good for rifles, but not quite for pistols. So why don't we go ahead and here in the aiming pose state, let's drag in idle underscore pistol. We'll get that here. And let's just drag this into the output animation pose, compile, and see what this looks like. We're going to go ahead and pick up a pistol, swap to the pistol, and right click. Now I'm seeing that the pistol looks a little bit low, so that's something we can adjust. Let's go ahead and go into our animations folder, type idle pistol, and let's open idle pistol. Yeah, it looks like the pistol is pretty low, but we can change this. We can go all the way to the first frame, go to our skeleton tree, and let's go to our upper arm R. That's going to be the upper arm, right arm. And why don't we go ahead and angle this up a bit. And let's also go to upper arm L and angle this up as well. Now, I'm not sure if this is enough, so we're going to have to see how it looks. But to keep the changes, we need to add plus for the key, and now the animation has the arms up a little bit more. Let's click Save, and let's test this out. I'll go ahead and go to a second viewport so we can have full screen. Now let's pick up the pistol and aim. Okay, so that looks a little bit better, but it's still a little low, and I think that the pistol is tilted a bit, so we're going to want to rotate this as well. So let's rotate it. That might actually fix the issue. I think I'm going to rotate it at the lower arm. So back in idle pistol, make sure you're at the first frame, frame 0, and I'm going to go to lower arm R, and I'm going to rotate this a bit. So I'm going to make sure snapping is turned off, and I'm going to rotate this clockwise just a bit. And I think I'm going to go to hand R as well and rotate that. And I don't think I need to move the left arm at all, so I'm going to go ahead and click plus to add a key. Now let's click apply, and now we can see how this looks. I'm going to go back into full screen with viewport 2, Alt P to play and pick up the pistol, swap to the pistol, and I'm going to aim. Now it looks a little bit better. I think I still need to rotate it a bit, and it's actually pointing to the left a little, so I want it to actually point a little more to the right. So I'm going to rotate it more clockwise and to the right. So back in idle pistol, I'm at this first frame here. I'm going to actually rotate hand R using the blue curved widget here, a little bit to the right and a little bit clockwise. And I think I'd actually like to move the hands up and to the right a little bit. I'm going to take upper arm R. That's more at the shoulder level. I'm going to rotate it outward a little bit and upward. And I'm going to take the left arm as well so that it kind of goes along with the right arm. So let's take upper arm L and move it a little to the left and a little upward, but I'm going to come over here first. So let's go up a bit like that. And let's take lower arm L, move it out just a bit. And I think that's going to be just about okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add a key and apply. And let's see how this looks. So I'm going to go to viewports, viewport 2, Alt P, and pick up the pistol, swap to the pistol, and aim. Now that looks pretty good. I like that. I really like that. Okay, so we have our pistol aiming animation. That looks good. And when she swaps from the hip fire position to aiming, that looks good. Let's hip fire a couple rounds. And let's go ahead and reload. Okay, things are looking pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Okay, that's going to conclude this video. We now have an aiming pose that we can use for the pistol. Now, before we wrap this up though, we need to go back to Shooter Anim BP and make sure that we're playing the correct aiming pose depending on the weapon. I'm going to go ahead and delete this play aiming pose. We only need these two. Now what we can do is we can right click here and we can get weapon type and get equipped weapon type. And we can take this and use a double equals and use equal enum and check to see if we're equal to pistol. And then we can simply blend poses by bool. So let's right click and blend poses by bool. And we're going to use the equal to pistol condition. And if this is true, we're going to use play idle pistol. And if it's false, we're going to play aiming pose rotated. So basically, all of our weapon types are going to use aiming pose rotated except for the pistol. So let's go ahead and use that. We'll compile this and save. And now we can use the correct aiming pose depending on the gun. So if we're using an SMG, we're using this aiming pose. And if we're using the pistol, we're using the pistol aiming pose. Now, if we wanted, we can have a different aiming pose for each weapon type. All right, so that concludes our video. We now have an aiming pose for the pistol. I'll see you in the next video.